Sometimes those closest to us, the ones we trust, confide in, and lean on, can unknowingly or intentionally drain our energy and pull us away from our true values. This is a sobering reality. Stoicism, a philosophy rooted in clarity and resilience, urges us to evaluate our relationships with honesty, aligning them with our growth and principles. In today's discussion, we'll uncover the Stoic perspective on identifying genuine connections versus those that hinder our progress. We'll explore subtle behaviors that reveal whether someone truly supports your journey or disrupts it. Think of this as a guide to navigating your social circle with wisdom, fostering relationships that uplift rather than diminish you. If you seek a life enriched by wisdom, inner peace, and authentic connections, stay tuned. By the end, you may find yourself rethinking your relationships. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to join a growing community dedicated to self-improvement through timeless philosophy. Lesson 1: The impact of your circle. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. This well-known principle highlights the profound influence of your social circle on your thoughts, actions, and overall life trajectory. Stoicism, particularly through the teachings of Seneca, emphasizes surrounding yourself with those who encourage virtue. Imagine spending time with individuals who embody courage, honesty, and wisdom. Their traits subtly influence your behavior, shaping your character for the better. Conversely, frequent interactions with deceptive or negative individuals can have the opposite effect, subtly eroding your integrity and outlook. Seneca's advice to associate with those who make you a better person reminds us to be mindful of our relationships. It's not about seeking perfection, but about curating a circle that aligns with our aspirations for a virtuous life. This awareness not only guides us in choosing companions, but also inspires us to be a positive force in the lives of others. Stoicism also teaches us to reflect on how we contribute to others' lives. Are we fostering an environment of growth and encouragement, or do our own shortcomings hinder the progress of those we care about? This reciprocal understanding forms the cornerstone of meaningful relationships. By consistently evaluating our relationships, we ensure that our social environment nurtures our highest potential rather than dragging us down. After all, a circle of virtue doesn't just happen, it's intentionally built. Lesson 2: Inconsistency between words and actions. Actions speak louder than words. Stoicism teaches us to value integrity, the alignment of one's words with their actions. Marcus Aurelius stressed living in harmony with one's principles, viewing consistency as a cornerstone of character. When someone consistently fails to match their words with their actions, it can erode trust and disrupt relationships. Stoicism encourages observing patterns of reliability in those around us, while also reflecting on our own. Are we as trustworthy and consistent as we expect others to be? By embodying this principle, we not only enhance our relationships, but also deepen our Stoic practice. The power of consistency lies in its ability to create a sense of reliability. People who say one thing and do another create uncertainty, which fosters anxiety and doubt in relationships. To protect your peace, evaluate these discrepancies and decide whether this dynamic aligns with your values. Marcus Aurelius advises us to focus on what we can control. If someone's inconsistency is beyond your influence, it's best to accept their nature while minimizing their impact on your life. This doesn't mean you must sever ties immediately, but rather approach the relationship with tempered expectations and strategic boundaries. Being a consistent person yourself is equally important. When you live with integrity, you naturally attract others who value the same. This alignment fosters connections based on mutual respect and shared principles, creating a harmonious social environment. Lesson 3: Frequent lies. Frequent dishonesty in any relationship undermines trust, which is the foundation of meaningful connections. The Stoics, especially Marcus Aurelius, upheld truth as a vital virtue. Lying not only harms relationships, but also reflects a deeper misalignment with one's character. Dealing with dishonesty is a test of Stoic virtues such as patience, justice, and understanding. Reflecting on the reasons behind someone's deceit can help you respond with calm rationality rather than impulsive judgment. At the same time, frequent dishonesty serves as a reminder of the importance of choosing companions wisely. Truth is not just a moral ideal in Stoicism, it's a practical necessity for inner peace. Lies create layers of complexity, forcing us to navigate relationships with uncertainty. The Stoics believed in simplifying life by aligning with truth, both in words and actions. If someone in your life habitually lies, it's essential to consider their role in your journey. Are they contributing to your growth, or are they holding you back? By asking these questions, you gain clarity on whether to maintain the relationship or set boundaries. The same principle applies to self-reflection. Stoicism urges us to examine our own honesty. Are we truthful in our relationships, or do we resort to lies for convenience? The answer reveals much about our alignment with Stoic ideals and our potential for growth. Lesson 4: Selective kindness. Have you noticed how some people show kindness selectively, often driven by self-interest? This behavior contrasts sharply with the Stoic ideal of universal benevolence. True kindness is rooted in genuine character, not opportunism. Selective kindness can be a subtle form of manipulation. By observing whether someone's generosity aligns with their principles, or if it fluctuates based on convenience, you gain valuable insight into their character. Stoicism encourages practicing kindness consistently as an expression of inner virtue, not as a transactional act. Marcus Aurelius wrote extensively about being kind even when it is undeserved. However, he also emphasized prudence, extending kindness without compromising your values. This balance is crucial when dealing with individuals whose actions are inconsistent. To navigate selective kindness, maintain your principles while protecting your boundaries. Acknowledge acts of generosity, but don't allow them to blind you to underlying patterns of self-serving behavior. True kindness, according to the Stoics, must be unconditional and reflective of virtue. By embodying authentic kindness, you naturally inspire those around you to do the same. This ripple effect strengthens relationships built on trust and mutual respect, aligning with the Stoic vision of a virtuous life. Lesson 5: Emotional manipulation. Emotional manipulation is one of the subtlest and most damaging forms of control in relationships. It often involves guilt-tripping, playing the victim, or distorting facts to influence your emotions and actions. For the Stoic, manipulation is a direct challenge to autonomy and rationality, two pillars of the philosophy. Epictetus taught that external events, including others' behaviors, are beyond our control, but how we respond to them lies within our power. Recognizing manipulation starts with awareness. Pay attention to how certain people make you feel after interactions. Do you feel uplifted or drained? Do they evoke guilt for things you've done or even for things you haven't? Manipulators often prey on your virtues, such as kindness and empathy. Stoicism teaches us to temper these traits with wisdom. This means maintaining your principles without succumbing to undue influence. By staying anchored to reason, you can see through manipulative tactics and respond with clarity. Setting boundaries is key when dealing with emotional manipulation. Boundaries are not acts of hostility but of self-respect. They communicate your values and ensure you remain aligned with them. Manipulative individuals often test these boundaries, but a Stoic response, calm, firm, and unwavering, prevents their influence from taking root. Ultimately, manipulation is a reflection of the manipulator's insecurity, not your worth. Recognizing this helps you detach emotionally, approach the situation objectively, and maintain your inner peace. Lesson 6: Lack of accountability. Accountability is a cornerstone of character, and its absence can erode trust in any relationship. People who consistently avoid responsibility for their actions create a dynamic of blame shifting and unresolved conflict, which can undermine your growth and stability. The Stoics, particularly Epictetus, emphasize taking full responsibility for your life. This principle applies not only to personal accountability, but also to the expectations you set for those around you. A person who habitually avoids accountability may resist growth and deflect criticism, making it difficult to establish a meaningful connection. Observing how someone responds to mistakes is revealing. Do they accept responsibility and strive to improve, or do they deny, deflect, and make excuses? This pattern offers insight into their character and whether they align with Stoic ideals of growth and virtue. When addressing this behavior, approach it calmly and without judgment. Marcus Aurelius reminds us to correct without anger by highlighting the issue in a composed manner. You set an example of maturity and self-control. Whether the person chooses to change is beyond your control, but your response reflects your own commitment to Stoic principles. In relationships, mutual accountability fosters trust and growth. By surrounding yourself with those who value this trait, you create an environment where both parties are empowered to grow and evolve. Lesson 7: Envy and resentment. Envy and resentment are corrosive emotions that can quietly destroy relationships. When someone harbors these feelings, it often manifests as subtle criticism, lack of support, or passive-aggressive behavior. For the Stoic, envy represents a failure to appreciate what one has and to align with the natural order of life. Seneca advised against comparing ourselves to others, noting that envy arises when we measure our worth against external achievements rather than inner virtues. This principle applies equally to relationships. If someone envies your success, it may stem from their own insecurities, not your actions. Recognizing this helps you respond with compassion rather than defensiveness. However, repeated displays of envy can poison the relationship. The Stoics teach us to evaluate whether such dynamics align with our pursuit of virtue and peace. Addressing envy directly, but tactfully, can bring clarity. Ask open-ended questions to understand their perspective and express how their behavior affects you. Resentment, often tied to unspoken grievances, thrives in silence. Marcus Aurelius emphasized the importance of open dialogue and forgiveness in maintaining harmony. By encouraging honest communication, you can address underlying issues before they escalate. Ultimately, the presence of envy or resentment signals a misalignment in values. Whether you choose to distance yourself or work to repair the relationship, the decision should reflect your commitment to virtue and growth. Lesson 8: Constant negativity. Negativity is contagious. Constant exposure to pessimism, complaints, or criticism can drain your energy and skew your perspective. Stoicism, with its focus on rationality and resilience, teaches us to guard against such influences while maintaining empathy for others' struggles. Negative individuals often fixate on problems without seeking solutions. This mindset contrasts with the Stoic approach of proactive problem-solving and acceptance of what cannot be changed. When dealing with negativity, it's crucial to set boundaries to protect your mental and emotional well-being. Seneca reminds us that we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Surrounding yourself with negativity amplifies imagined fears and doubts. By limiting exposure to such influences, you create space for positivity and clarity. This doesn't mean abandoning people entirely, but choosing when and how to engage. Approach negative individuals with compassion, but also with a sense of detachment. Offer encouragement and solutions, but recognize that their mindset is ultimately their responsibility. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Lead by example." By cultivating an environment of positivity, you reinforce your Stoic practice and create a supportive space for yourself and others to thrive. Lesson 9: Toxic criticism. Criticism, when constructive, is a valuable tool for growth. But toxic criticism, designed to belittle rather than build, has no place in a healthy relationship. For the Stoic, discerning between the two is essential for maintaining inner peace and fostering meaningful connections. Toxic criticism often targets your character rather than your actions. It may come in the form of sarcasm, mockery, or undue harshness. Recognizing this behavior requires self-awareness and a clear understanding of your values. Are the criticisms rooted in truth and delivered with care, or do they reflect the critic's insecurities? Epictetus advises us to keep our attention focused entirely on what is truly our own concern. Responding to toxic criticism with calm detachment protects your peace and reinforces your self-control. Avoid engaging in defensive arguments, which only escalate the situation. If the relationship is important, address the issue directly but respectfully. Express how the criticism affects you and propose a healthier way to communicate. If the person values the relationship, they'll likely adjust their approach. If not, consider whether their presence aligns with your Stoic pursuit of virtue. Constructive feedback, on the other hand, should be embraced with gratitude. By seeking out relationships that offer honest but respectful critiques, you ensure continuous growth in alignment with Stoic principles. Lesson 10: Absence of shared values. Shared values are the foundation of any meaningful relationship. Without them, conflicts are inevitable, and mutual understanding becomes difficult. Stoicism teaches us to prioritize relationships that align with our principles and to accept differences without compromising our integrity. When values clash, it often leads to tension and misunderstanding. For example, if you prioritize honesty and simplicity while someone else values manipulation or materialism, the disconnect can create friction. Recognizing these differences is the first step to navigating them. Marcus Aurelius advised focusing on what unites us as humans rather than what divides us. However, he also emphasized the importance of maintaining your own standards. Balancing these perspectives requires wisdom and discernment. When faced with conflicting values, open communication is key. Express your perspective calmly and seek to understand theirs. If the gap is too wide to bridge, it may be best to distance yourself. Stoicism doesn't advocate severing ties lightly, but rather making thoughtful decisions for your well-being. By surrounding yourself with those who share your values, you create a community of support and understanding. These relationships not only enrich your life but also reinforce your commitment to living virtuously. Navigating relationships with wisdom requires honesty, self-reflection, and the courage to make difficult choices. Stoicism offers timeless guidance for identifying behaviors that uplift versus those that harm. Remember, the quality of your relationships deeply impacts your journey toward a life of virtue and fulfillment. By applying these lessons, you can foster connections that align with your values and nurture your growth. Thank you for watching. If you found this discussion valuable, like, share, and subscribe. Let us know in the comments which Stoic principle resonates most with you, or suggest a topic you'd like us to explore next. Your voice shapes this community,